Your brief is to create a painting for a sweet shop window or a confectionery shop window by using all your drawings and your photographs to produce your final piece. I'm just going to work around the art room just showing you some really good examples. Starting off in the display cabinet, some little tiny square easel pieces. You might decide to do a series of more than a couple of those. Really nice example of how the little small paintings have worked as they've been presented in a jar here. And if you look at these ones, they've been made into sweets themselves. You could make a box to put them in, and you could make a series of the little sweets with the paintings on to go in the jars. That's really nice example there. Another one might be, you might decide to go 3D. You could do work on sort of your photographs. You could even produce little paintings and mount them up so that they go into little boxes, presentation boxes, like the really good example that's here. And I'm just going to move around to examples that are over in the other display cabinet towards the back of the room. As you can see, we've got really nice example of one that's been used here as a little cake painting, but the background's been done quite graphically, and these all create a series which I'm just going to flip over to this area here in my room, where there's been a series of 3 or 4 paintings that make up that series. What I really like about these is that you've got a painting in the centre, and I've highlighted sections and done them a little bit more detail on small canvases at the side. That works really nicely. These are also really nice examples. Maybe our work's been used and cut up to collage within background. We've got a sweet up here that's made up into 4 different sections. So we had a photograph of a sweet which we photoshopped, and then he created 4 different colour switches and choices and painted them like the example that's up there, quite large, so it makes one sweet painting, one sort of sweet example. Heading over to this area here, young man worked really hard, did a really tiny detailed painting about A5, then he scanned that image and rechanged the colourings and done a series of 4 quite large detailed paintings using different colour switches. I think he originally started off with quite a detailed photograph and worked from the photograph, and then developed that through to his final piece, which is 4 paintings rather than 1. We've got a young lady here who's working on the textile course, and she's done some really nice examples of silk paintings of sweets there. She's done some little sections there using the sewing machine and some beautiful photographs. Her final piece is this little basket here, where she's created by looking at an artist that she researched and looking at her work there. So she's made some nice little 3D textile packets for her final piece. So you might decide that your final piece is going to go into textiles. It could even just stay as photography, it could be Photoshop, it could be painted. Some really highly detailed paintings and photographs up there at the top. We've got looking at confectionery and sundaes, really high detailed sundae picture going on here. That's beautiful. Look at the paintwork and the acrylic blending on that piece there, that's beautiful. And it's really nice to see that they've highlighted sections from the paintings which have then put together and developed a really nice final piece which works really well with the graffiti outline background. There's a really nice presentation on here, really high detailed picture working from sweets up the top there. That's working from a photograph, really photographic realism there on our painting skills, and really nice sort of sample here which I'll move out so you can see the overall sort of final piece was sort of put together by a few different paintings. There is a nice board here that links in with our artists that you might use. You've got Joel Penkman and Wayne Theobald. That might be an artist that you looked at to influence your own work and your final sweet paintings. A really nice one here is really highly detailed again, but it's just taking tone and it's sections from sweet photographs, and she's done lots and lots of different ones. And then her final piece is the display cabinet with the paintings that are in little tiny frames. That's her final piece. Coming back over to the display cabinet, back over here, really clever pieces. We've got French fancies, which have been made in the box where the French fancies actually are, and we've got a lovely little Thornton's sweet example down here. So it is, at the end of the day, up to you how you develop your final pieces from the drawings and from the work that you've looked at, and it can develop in any direction that you think.